Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now today is a fragrance review and it's one of the reviews which I've been looking forward to for a while because it's a winter fragrance and winter is most certainly my preferred time of year for dallying with fragrance. Because it's a time of year where you can delve into those stronger, more powerful, dense and heady fragrances. Because in the winter where life is rather depressed by dampness and moisture and cold, you need a fragrance which is stronger. Those citrus fragrances from the summer, they're not much good this time of year. They won't punch through the sort of dense environment in which we live. So you need a bit of strength. And today's fragrance, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, is Egoiste by Chanel.
For a man.
Now, on my fragrance journey through life, I've certainly dabbled with some of those big, strong hitters that do well in the winter months. Fragrances like Dior's Sauvage and George Trumper's Eucharis, which is one of my all-time favorites. And even the more populist fragrances like Aramis and its many, iterations. But Aramis is a great daily wearer for the summer months if you want something strong and powerful. But 1990 saw the release of Chanel's Egoiste, and it is a woody, spicy, amber-infused composition which really brings quite a lot to the party. It's very masculine, it's very conservative in many ways, and it accords the elements of fragrance which all come together in this heady little scent here are quite interesting. We have at the top notes, we have coriander, rosewood, mahogany and mandarin. In the mid notes, we see cinnamon, rose, carnation. And in the base notes, those important ones, sandalwood, tobacco, vanilla, leather, amber and musk. And all of those come together to deliver quite a strong fragrance. Time to give it a try. Let's get it on the skin. A little bit on the back of the hand. I'm even going to apply some to my pulse points today because I haven't put any fragrance on today so far. Oh, and this is one which really delivers. Now the reason this one works so well in the winter months is that the smell of it is so emblematic of this time of year, because what comes across immediately is slightly sweet vanilla-y essence, but most certainly you get a spicy cinnamon fragrance. And for me, if the midwinter point, the sort of Christmas period, that festive period, is often punctuated by the cinnamon, the mandarin, those seasonal fragrances which make you feel as if you're part of this time of year. That's what you get with Egoiste. I say conservative. It's modern, but it's the sort of fragrance, in my mind, I picture men wearing who are smart and elegant, maybe wearing a suit or a blazer, somebody whose business is professional in nature. You might be an architect, a doctor, something of that nature. I mean, I'm not, of course, I'm just an ordinary guy just like you. But I get that sense with this fragrance, that it could be worn by somebody who shares that professional background. Because it's the sort of fragrance you could walk into a room and it would imbue the room with that sense of professionalism. Somebody who's well put together, smart and elegant. So what can I tell you about the fragrance in general? Well, when would you wear it? What time of year? Well, no doubt about that. It's definitely for the cooler months. I tend to start wearing this from about September, October onwards, and I will typically wear this until April. I try and squeeze as much as I can out of those cooler months. Here in the UK, our seasons are changing to a degree. It's not as cold as it used to be, but certainly for me, the cooler months. The age range, I've kind of already alluded to it. This is more suited to perhaps people towards the middle part of life. I'm going to say 35 plus, could easily say 40 plus. I don't think it's going to suit younger people, right? If you're 25, you would have to have a leaning towards the more classical style for this baby to work on you, because I think it is just a little bit more conservative than many of the other fragrances which draw people who are younger. Time of day you could wear this. I think it naturally suits the evening because it's strong and heady, but really in the winter time where you need that punch from your fragrance, it just emanates class, slightly smoky, slightly tobacco-y fragrance. So yeah, it could work day or evening, but I'm drawn to the evening as my initial thought. Is it a fragrance that you would wear to a special occasion? I would say yes, as long as that special occasion is appropriate to the situation we've just talked about. You know, if it's maybe outdoor, you know, if you're going to an evening reception somewhere, or perhaps you're going out for a walk around the Christmas market in your local town, this would be perfect. Absolutely. Is it masculine? Totally. I think this is a very masculine fragrance. I do not think it's unisex. I don't feel it would suit many females because of its strength and because of its characteristics. It has got many manly elements to its fragrance. What is the projection like and its longevity? Well, the projection is good. I mean, I know when I've worn this fellow, I put it on, maybe I go into a room, I've been in the room for 10 minutes, I'll go into another room, maybe get myself a coffee, I return to that original room, and I can sense the aura of my fragrance still hanging in the air. The fragrance gives you good projection. And same for its longevity. When I apply this on my skin, 6 to 8 hours, for sure. You know, it's a good, long-lasting fragrance. It is only an eau de toilette, but it has the power of an eau de parfum within many other brands. Chanel is, you know, good, long-lasting stuff, generally, in my opinion. And it lasts the test of time. Do I get any comments so far from third parties? I would say yes. Almost universally, when I've encountered somebody and I've been wearing this fragrance, there will be positive comments in return. People will say, ooh, you know, what are you wearing there? That's rather nice. That is always a pleasing piece of feedback to get from any fragrance you wear. And because it's quite powerful, it does push out a little bit. You will get those comments where you might not ordinarily with a less powerful, less interesting fragrance. What does it look like? Well, Chanel isn't particularly imaginative in its packaging, and this is a bottle which you will recognize from the Chanel range, but that is part of its appeal. You know exactly what you're getting when you look at Chanel. Clear plastic bottle, a rather light straw coloured fluid with inside. Not much on the outside, just telling us it's Egoiste, made by Chanel of Paris, and it's an eau de toilette. Plastic cap on the top, plastic nozzle, good projection by the spray, easy to apply. It doesn't all go in one big spot. It's a nice, you know, smattering of the fragrance on your skin. Packaging, as I say, the box, not really relevant unless you're aiming to give it to somebody as a gift, but classic Chanel, looks rather smart actually. So if you are giving it to somebody as a gift, I think one of the things that Chanel does deliver on is it's stuck to its classic aesthetics of the past, and it makes it quite attractive to me. And its value, not too expensive, but not cheap either. It's that reassuring middle ground. Chanel 100 millilitres here of Egoiste cost me £85 from a John Lewis department store here in the UK. Chanel tend to hover quite strongly at those price points as well. You will be lucky to get it cheaper unless you manage to pick it up when there's a 10% discount day in the store or something, or maybe in the the New Year's sales they might have a discount day. But I think £85 for 100 millilitres of a good quality Chanel fragrance is actually quite modest price. So, summarise, what do I think? I've personally connected very well with Chanel Egoiste. I love it, but only in the winter months. It's not a universal fragrance for the summer. It's not going to work. It's too hard, it's too heavy, it's too hot for those summer months. Perfect for now, as I film this, in the winter time, but no good for the summer. But I've definitely connected with its masculinity, with its conservatism, with its punctilious nature. You know, I really do like it. If you are a fan of Chanel Platinum Egoiste, obviously it sounds as if there's a family relationship. This is Egoiste, there's a Platinum Egoiste. There's no resemblance whatsoever. Platinum Egoiste, which is also one of my favourites, is a fragrance which I prefer for the summery months. It's a slightly metallic, almost citrusy scent. This one, polar opposite. And because of that, you know, this fragrance may polarize opinions in people. If you don't like those vanilla, sweet, spicy, sickly, tobacco-y, very musky fragrances, maybe not. If you don't like the smell of winter, the smell of Christmas, maybe not. Look elsewhere. But if you love those fragrances and they invoke within you some sort of primeval sense of the enjoyment of midwinter, this may be the fragrance that you would want to choose. So there we go, folks. Those are my thoughts about Platinum, no, not Platinum, Chanel Egoiste. And it is absolutely one which will always be in my collection. You know, I really have connected with this one. I think it's a great price point. Let's be honest, Chanel doesn't make any poor fragrances, in my opinion. One of their beauties is they don't bring out a lot of fragrance. They don't bring out one every year, but when they do bring one out, it's good. And it tends to be timeless in nature. And that's what this one is. Timeless, worth putting in the collection for a modest price. So, if you have enjoyed this video, this scent review on Chanel Egoiste, give it a thumbs up. You can always click that subscribe button as well if you'd like to see more like this. If you'd like to practically support me and the channel, you could simply buy me a coffee. And the link to do that you will find in the show notes below. So until the next time, wear your fragrance, whatever it may be, with some pride, some passion, and enjoy the fragrance and the elements of that fragrance which emanate off you, and give a good impression in the people that you meet. So until the next time, take care, and I will see you again very soon.